Scratch Perry's significance in the development of Jamaican popular music is phenomenal, and his heritage is amazing.
Give me some signal for Lee Perry, the upsetter!
He was at the vanguard of the development of dub music. He almost single-handedly created a sonic sound experience at his Black Ark Studios in Washington Gardens. And he, in producing the rhythms that he produced, he created a canvas for artists to sing on, so to speak. Hence Junior Mervin's Police and Thieves, hence all the dub encounters, the amazing rhythms. And before that, of course, going back to the late 60s, when he created a band called The Upsetters, The Return of Django, which was a pop chart smash. Going back even further than that into the late 50s and early 60s when he was working with Cox and Dodd and was associated with the early pioneers of the music, he was one of them. He was recording, he was producing, arranging, he was a catalyst for talent in terms of inspiring people. Now, he's also made some vocal records, but it's his work as a producer which I consider to be part of his tremendous legacy. Jamaican music has had a tremendous influence on British subculture because I'm old enough to remember My Boy Lollipop. I'm old enough to remember the original ska records. And that was in the mid-60s when I was a young mod. So 66, 67, we were dancing to ska records that were kicking into rocksteady records.
Hey, 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 hey!
We were about style, we were about fashion. We were dedicated followers of fashion in the words of Ray Davies and the Kinks. And our music was everything. Remember, in those days, you didn't have 100 television channels. You know, you followed one football team, you wanted to check out girls, you wanted to go to clubs, you wanted to party, and your currency was exchanging football cards or vinyl records. Life was pretty simple, and music was everything.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want.
Salute!
I was part of that movement, so I was born at a time which enabled me to experience the changes in Jamaican music and the effect it had on British culture. So now in received speech, you hear people, big him up and all this terminology, all originated in Jamaica. This was Jamaican speech, received speech in Jamaica. This is part of their culture.
Now when you see the light,
Are you ready?
you stand up for your right.
Hey! 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 The Wailers!
Get up, stand up.
Reggae music, in my opinion, within the media is marginalised in the UK because so many people don't understand it, they don't get it, they can't dance to it, and it doesn't turn them on. So it's marginalised. If you don't understand something, you marginalise it. But there's an underground that the media doesn't know about, never did, and probably never will. And an example of that is what's happening here tonight. You'll see people from all walks of life who love this music and love it deeply. But you wouldn't think that from the attention it gets in the media, because it doesn't get much attention. And in some ways, that's cool. Because you know what? We never looked to the media for it. They never really helped us in the way that they could have done. And I could start naming names, but I won't. But the music is there for the people that love it, feel it and appreciate it. And they'll always find it. They always have done.
Get up in the morning, slaving for bread, so that every mouth can be.
If I could keep one record or one album, it would be Bob Andy's Songbook album. It wasn't actually recorded as an album, but it contains his most important work from the late 60s, recorded at Cox and Dodd Studio One. Bob Andy for me is one of Jamaica's greatest singer-songwriters. The album is packed full of soul. It is powerful, it is moving, it is deep and heavy, and I've always loved it, particularly for a song called Feeling Soul. To be true to one another, to be kind and gentle to each other. I could quote the whole song, but I won't. That for me is almost a code of living, and I think it's beautiful.
We know which one we are suffering on the fighter from whip.
Somebody say pull up!
The most exciting new and original young reggae artist that we should be listening to, in my opinion, is Chronix. He's a very good songwriter, he has a beautiful voice, and the liberty of his work speaks for itself. I think he's going to be a real talent, someone to watch out for the future. Chronix.
Red, red wine.
Hey, 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 hey.
Go to my head.
How important is passion and originality in music? It is everything. Without it, the music has no value. Vacuous, meaningless, empty, soulless. It has to be original. It has to have passion. And when you see it and you hear it, it touches you. And that's how fan bases develop, especially with young people, because that's what it's all about. You want to find something that's yours, that is unique to you.
It was a buffalo soldier.
My dream gig lineup, that's a really interesting question that can consist of people who are no longer with us and people who are. Well, obviously, Bob Marley would have to be there because he was the greatest icon in Jamaican popular music. And I'd love to see him playing with Bonnie Wailer and Peter Tosh again as the original Wailers. That would be amazing. So there would be, they'd perhaps top the bill, wouldn't they? I'd love to see Augustus Pablo again. I would love to see Dennis Brown again. And I would love to see Gregory Isaacs again. And I'd love to see Dennis and Gregory singing songs from their earlier period. I'm talking about the 70s and early 80s, which for me was their richest and deepest period. And in terms of new young talent, I would dearly love to see Taurus Riley and Luciano and Chronix on the lineup with Kabaka Pyramid. And I'd love to see a young artist stroke DJ who I think has got a lot of talent, and his name is Protégé. I think he's very, very exciting. There's a lot of original music coming through from Jamaica, and I think we should take heed of it. There's a new movement, and Chronix is at the vanguard of it. Good over evil. The liberty and righteousness of the music that made it so special.
The message of love goes out to all the thugs and gangsters who try to destroy our communities. Give me some signal of unity.
I know, yes, I know now.
Whoa!
I'm sure in 10 minutes I'll come running back and tell you, do you know, we also need to have... I could go on, but I won't. Thank you.